Noch nie hat er sich für die European Tour qualifizieren können. Noch nie war er auf so einer großen Bühne. Und deshalb ein ganz, ganz großer Moment. Und ich denke, wir bescheren ihn einem herzlichen Empfang. Die Rede ist von Steffen.
85.
Well, Siepmann, he's getting himself into positions here. Okay, he missed out in the last leg, but he's got another crack at winning a leg here.
60. Andrew, you require 108.
Well, he may be back, Siepmann.
Route's it going to be? Could go Shanghai in the 18s here. That is the route. Well, he moves to the 14s to leave top. And there it is. Superb start. But after a lot of messing around in the opening stages of this game, that is a ton plus checkout. And Andrew Gilding, the number 36 in the world, and as I say, a UK Open semi-finalist, you don't make the semi-final of a big TV tournament unless you have the capability of producing some very, very classy darts.
45.
Yeah, I mean,
there have been few and far between in this game from him, but that was good.
That was versatile as well, because obviously having found treble 18, you might have fancied him just to stay there and just...
I do question if you're going to... Well, I suppose if he hits the single 18, and he could use it as a guide into the treble 18.
But having hit the treble 18 with the first dart,
well,
anyway, who can begin to fathom the mind of Andrew?
Well,
Gilding?
I mean, if you could try and get inside that great dome, fuzzy dome of his,
81.
but is there a way out? If you do,
because once you're in there,
yeah,
that's it.
Terrifying thought. It is, of course, that dome that has created the Andrew Gilding
60.
takeaway heating system. There you go. There's the stance, well over on the left-hand side. Andrew Gilding, a man who would order not one takeaway, but two takeaways at the same time. Because you'll have one
60.
now.
Right, okay.
And then he'll go off to play darts, say at the home of World Darts, the Barnsley Metrodome, or the other home of World Darts, the Robin Park Tennis Centre in Wigan, for example. And he might go there, and he might go out first round, or he might go all the way to the final. And then comes back several hours later. But what to do with that takeaway that may have gone cold by that time? Well, you can get a towel from the hotel, roll it up,
96.
form a sort of loop, put the iron upside down within that towel.
You are kidding me.
Leave it on, create your own hot plate, which you can then lay your takeaway on
100.
to keep warm for several hours. This, I am reliably informed, is a tactic that has been employed by Andrew Gilding in the past. Possibly at great danger to people staying in the hotel. Who knows?
And he does this in the room, or...?
I believe this is in the room, yes.
So that would leave some sort of odour, I would assume.
59.
Well, I cannot comment on the odour emanating from Andrew Gilding's hotel room. All I can do is report what I have been told.
So he buys two at a time. So this is why he builds up a bill of
55.
£3 grand.
£3 over the year, yeah.
Andrew, you require 160.
More importantly, he's looking at 160 to consolidate that break of throw and open up a two-leg gap.
Well, that's generated lots of questions. Let's see if, well, he won't finish here, but he'll certainly
100.
look to
Stefan, you require
make a sizable
110.
indentation here. But Siepmann, again, in the frame here to win another leg.
Treble 18's the shot. Unable to find the treble, which would have left him double 18.
50. Andrew, you require
Well, look, that
60.
108 checkout from Andrew Gilding, that really is the standout moment in this game of quality. Everything else has just been pretty average. He's gone double top. And that looks awkward. Looks like it's kicked across. Got to hit the top part of the bed. Oh,
55.
my word. That's just bad. I know he's a long way over to the left, but he's left himself 5.
Bearing in mind you have to go over the top of that first dart as well. But anyway, let's see what Siepmann can do here.
50.
And he too
Andrew, you require
is unable
5.
to finish. And Gilding here, well, can he pick up the pieces from where he left off? Double 2. Could go anywhere, this. Madhouse.
3 scored.
Well,
Stefan, you
well.
require 10.
Goldfinger.
Well, if Siepmann does take this out, it'll be 2 apiece, but it...
Can use that first dart as a guide.
8
Oh,
scored.
he's on the wrong side of it.
Andrew, you require 2.
Double Madhouse! Top level international darts here at the Happy Bet German Darts Masters. But you know, even these guys
Game
can get
shot in the
stuck
fourth
on double
leg.
one.
Andrew
However,
Gilding.
Andrew Gilding
Fifth leg,
does
7 to throw
eventually
first. Game
crawl
on.
over the line to make it 3-1 and open up a 2-leg gap. And Stefan Siepmann, who started off, took the first leg, with 70 checkout, hasn't looked flustered. No discernible change in his demeanour, but maybe this is a real big test that he perhaps wasn't prepared for.
Do you know what, though? He's 3-1 down, but this sounds daft, but he could be 4-0 up because he's been in the frame. He's been there or thereabouts at the end of every leg. Okay,
41.
let's not take anything away from the 108 checkout, but even in that leg, he was sort of loitering with intent.
Yeah, it's not like he's been outclassed here by Andrew Gilding.
The scoreline looks as though he has because Gilding has just won 3 legs on the spin, but that's definitely not the case here. Bizarre match, I have to say. It's got echoes of the Brian Woods Dragutin Horvat match from earlier on as well. It's
125.
just a toil for both players here. Siepmann will fancy his chances still of just prolonging this one,
26.
but not with darts like that. Gilding has to pounce all over that surely here. Well, it's what he has to do. Whether he will or not is another question.
Well, I fear that what is happening here is we've got one player who, having taken the lead on his debut in big stage darts, may, well, I was going to be saying, maybe crumbling, but look at this.
Well, let's just wind the clock back. Where did that come from?
I do not know. I mean, I
Left
tell you what,
field.
we saw Michael Ploy, who we're going to see later tonight.
Final match of the night.
Against Remy van Barneveld.
99.
Michael Ploy had
Stefan, you require
a quite
135.
baffling Euro Tour debut last time out, where one visit he looked like a world beater and one visit he looked like a pub player, and it just went on like that all the way through. The 135 is not going to go,
89.
and it was just so bafflingly
Andrew,
inconsistent
you
from
require
Michael Ploy.
136.
Siepmann might end up doing something similar, because at times it has been woeful. But Gilding is just, I mean, it's more of the same from Gilding. I mean, you'd struggle to pick
30.
which one is the established
Stefan, you
PDC
require
professional here.
46.
I was almost half expecting Gilding there to go treble 20, tops double 18 almost, but in the end he scored 30. Double 8 for Siepmann.
Game
There
shot
it
on
is.
the fifth
Oh, it's a
leg.
hold of throw,
Stefan Siepmann.
but the deficit is back to 1.
6th leg, Andrew to throw first. Game on.
Well, I genuinely think this is anybody's, because neither man is playing particularly well, and Gilding has certainly become embroiled. I think in the first 5 legs here, either man could have taken a real commanding grasp of
58.
this game had they played anywhere near their top level. We're assuming that Stefan Siepmann's top level is higher than what we're seeing at the minute.
Well, just to put one of his results from last night into a bit of perspective, he beat Lars Reneke 6-1 in the final round of qualifying. Reneke, prior to that, had beaten the number 2 seed Martin Schindler 6-2. Now, Schindler has done some good stuff on the European, well, he's qualified for European Tour events before, and he's number 2 seed in qualifying.
60.
And won his tour card this year.
And
Now
won
he's
his
a
tour card
PDC
this year
pro
as
now.
well. So, I mean, on that evidence, you know, Siepmann has put in some good performances already this weekend. And is a very capable player on that basis as well. But maybe it's just that big stage experience gets to him on occasions and suddenly remembers where he is, and then suddenly he just thinks, oh,
Well, look,
to hell with it, let's just have a go.
he's given as good as he's getting here, and maybe, I mean, at least he's in and around the treble bend. They're all straight. I have to say, the biggest disappointment so far has been Andrew Gilding's level of performance.
Because he has strayed over.
I mean, yeah.
And he's done it again there. And once again, he's unable to keep it straight.
11 scored.
Anything but golden from Goldfinger right now. Brassfinger. Imitation
60.
poly cotton blend finger.
228 after 12 darts for Gilding. 11 on the last visit. What will this be?
More.
Slightly more. They want a lot more. Oh, well, he has found a big treble. But it's Siepmann on a finish on the Gilding throw of 1-4-1.
Yeah, and 6 darts from here as well. I mean, he's had a quick glance there at the scores, so he knows he's coming back to the board. And he's set that up very nicely. So after 5 visits, he's left on a double. After 5 visits, Andrew Gilding is not even on a finish.
$81. Stefan, you require 36.
Once again, the failure to stay straight from Andrew Gilding means he's going to have to use all 3 darts to see off the 1-1-4, assuming he gets a go at it, which he may. But he won't, because he's got a level game.
Stefan Siepmann.
Well, Ronnie Baxter and Kyle Anderson waiting very, very patiently in the wings. Back in the players' room, just keeping an eye on this one while they just polish off their practice board stuff. Siepmann kicks off with 2 single ones.
22.
Puff of the cheeks from Russ Bray there.
$42.
22 plays 42 at the outset of leg 7.
Wow. Well, you know what? This afternoon we had some really, really strong performances.
Yeah.
You know, some solid stuff from Roby John Rodriguez and Daniel Lawson, Ted Evitts and Max Hopp, 2 young players producing some very, very strong stuff. But I'm afraid to say, this is about as poor as we've seen. Can one of them just kick in and raise the level?
135.
Again, without being disrespectful to either of these two, Darryl Gurney and Adrian Lewis will be watching this thinking, it's a shame we weren't kept apart here, and a shame that we couldn't have had one of these two, because it would have been a very, very different story. Obviously, it's the look of the draw, but that's the nature of it. But once again, Gilding guilty of straying over into
35.
the 5 bed. He's got 2 trebles and a single. And once again, it's laboured stuff. Look at the averages there. 67.75 from Gilding, 73 and a bit from Siepmann. This will enhance it, though. And again, just another sign that Siepmann is still very much involved here and still moving in the right direction. He's down to 140 on his throw.
125. Stefan, you require 140.
Oh, Andrew Gilding is going to wake up in cold sweats at night thinking about this game.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Siepmann, very nearly takes out the ton 40 now in this ridiculous game with 2 players playing absolutely dreadful stuff. Could we? Could we?
I think he will, you know.
No.
Of course he won't.
Ain't no sense, malarkey.
8 scored so far.
Oh, my word.
15. Stefan, you require 20.
Well, double 10 for a 4-3 lead, having trailed 3-1. One more go at double 5.
10 score.
And on we go.
Andrew, you require 149.
Well, Siepmann will get another chance.
95. Stefan, you require
Closing in
10.
Andrew Gilding on a very unlikely steal.
I think this may be split. Yeah, 2 for double 4.
Just like he did before.
And down for double 2.
Game
And there it is. Siepmann back into the lead. That is 3 legs on the spin for the German debutant against Andrew Gilding. And Gilding, quite frankly, is putting in a performance that Wes Craven would... Well, he'd refuse to make films around because it would be too scary. Really?
Fill it up. He has done, you know. What price the 9-dart finish now from Stefan Siepmann in all of this chaos and turmoil and laboured activity. This is just one of the most bizarre matches I've ever seen.
85.
I have no idea whether Stefan Siepmann will score a 180 or 7. Maybe neither.
Or somewhere in between. Probably
Somewhere in between.
Near a 7.
Wow.
Well, he's followed up with a ton, you know. And there's only one man in it at the minute, because Siepmann has battled and grafted and clawed his way back, and Gilding has done absolutely nothing. I mean,
78.
I'm struggling to remember seeing Andrew Gilding miss so many big numbers as he has, and multiple times in one visit. I think at least twice he's hit.
He's filled it up again, and he's down to a finish of 41. He's on a potential 11-dart leg here, and Gilding just cannot keep up, and he can't keep his breath. Absolutely astonishing. I mean, this is Gilding, who reached the semi-finals of the UK Open 2 years ago.
80.
Well, he looks like him.
Stefan, you require 41.
I can't believe there's anybody else who's decided to go for the same look.
Double 16.
Game shot in the
5-3 the score now, and we are one leg away from having our third German host nation qualifier into the second round of the German Darts Masters, with Robert Marjanovic to come later as well against John Michael. It could be the clean sweep. Let's see if Siepmann can satisfy his side of the equation here.
100.
Well, look, Andrew Gilding is not even looking likely. However, I will add a caveat to this. Jeffrey de Graaf did not look like the same player in the last 5 legs of his game against Ricky Evans earlier than he was in the first 6 legs. He looked well beaten at 5-1 down, and then just came alive. Now Andrew Gilding has to do something similar. He's only got to do it for 3 legs, but he's up against a man who has just thrown an 11-darter. The crowd are singing his name, and maybe he's just growing into it.
Well, he's certainly been doing that over the last 3 legs, no doubt about it. And let's not forget that leg where Gilding went 3-1 up. That was a 25-dart leg as well, so he could have easily lost that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Siepmann had multiple darts for that leg as well. I mean, it could have been a bigger margin of victory, assuming that Siepmann does go on and win it. That's only 41, but still puts him nearly 80 points clear, and, you know, 80 is a good visit for Andrew Gilding in this game. It's a very good visit.
70.
11 points to the good. It's slender, but he has the momentum, and he has the finishing line in sight. Not quite down to a finish just yet, but he's certainly moving in the right direction here, Stefan Siepmann.
We're in the 9th leg of this game, and Andrew Gilding, the number 36 in the world, has not thrown a single score of 140 or more. I mean, the finishing hasn't been great, but the scoring has been so woeful from Andrew Gilding that he hasn't given himself enough chances anyway.
I think when we dissect this match later and crunch through the various stats and the various angles, there'll be more, you know, to unearth, shall we say. But it's just difficult to know what to put this down to, really.
Well, I think that Andrew Gilding would be quite happy if we just never mention this game ever again. Stefan Siepmann will want this mentioned as much as possible, though, because he's got tops for a win.
60.
And pulls it low, but we know he will be back. He's going to get more match darts to complete a debut victory on the European Tour. An unknown, pretty much, when he came here to Jena and played the host nation qualifiers here last night, battled his way through. He's come up against Andrew Gilding, who has been absolutely nothing like a professional dart player tonight. It has been woeful from Goldfinger, and it looks as if he's going to be punished. Maybe not yet.
But not yet.
Andrew, you require 161.
I've known test matches be wrapped up quicker than this. Anyway, Gilding, 161 for one final flourish. It won't be. Now, Siepmann has ignored the double 5 route before. He's gone 2 double 4 on 2
43.
occasions already today. I suspect he'll do the same
Step
here
in, you
because it's
require
served him
10.
well so far. And he's certainly looking at that corner of the board again. Well, he's hit the treble 2 instead, so double 2 now in the madhouse.
8 scores.
The agony goes on.
Andrew, you
Go on, Dan,
require
call the 118.
118.
Well, 6 match darts have been missed by Stefan Siepmann. Can Andrew Gilding take out his second ton plus finish? Well, no, he can't, because he's hit the skinny 1, and it's not the first time that has happened in this game.
78.
That's
Wow,
a decent visit
Stefan,
from Andrew
you
Gilding in the
require
context
2.
of this game. Madhouse for Siepmann.
New score.
That
7.
was
Andrew,
always
you
the
require
danger.
40.
And suddenly Gilding just might snatch this from under the nose of Stefan Siepmann.
And it would be a break of throw, and Gilding would be throwing to level.
And then all of a sudden we have the prospect of a deciding 11th leg double 10. We can't see it. Andrew, move out of the way. Double 5.
Game shot in the 9th
On
leg.
we go.
Andrew Gilding.
Didn't you just know that was going to
10th
happen?
leg, Andrew, to
Didn't you
throw
just know it?
first. Game on.
Zietman
Wow.
absolutely kicking himself now.
Gilding taking the equivalent of a run-up by starting way over on the right-hand side of the stage and walking
Shuffling
even
over.
further across. But somehow he is still in the Happy Bet German Darts Masters, Andrew Gilding.
100.
And Goldfinger puts in a ton plus visit. That is only his 10th visit of a ton or more in this entire game. We're in 10 legs. Look at this, though. Siepmann.
140.
Well, it's all well and good chucking 140s. I mean, scoring wasn't a problem in the last leg. It was when he got down to the business end of things where he suddenly came unstuck. And there we see 5 from 29 for Siepmann. And Gilding not much better with 4 from 14.
59.
That's just one of the many stories of this match. One of the many statistics that we'll just have a look at in greater detail. There's another one as well, the 20-something dart legs.
140.
There's been an 11 darter and 3 18 darters.
And then 5 20-something.
Everything else.
Over,
the
over half.
Gilding will want records of this game burnt. He will want the internet erased.
58.
He will want fake news applied to this one.
But he could still win it. That's the thing. He's still in this. He survived 7 match darts. Siepmann, on his
60.
debut on the European Tour, has got to hit the winning double. He's not going to be awarded a win just by his opponent playing the worst game he's ever played on a big stage. And even when the first starts where it's supposed to be, it's a
81.
struggle for Gilding to follow it.
Stefan, you require 161.
And again, at least 6 darts from here for Stefan Siepmann. He
Or
could do it.
maybe in 3. Nah.
97.
Well, again, chipping away, closing in, 64 away. Stefan Siepmann Ole is the cry of the crowd here in Jena at the Sparkassen Arena.
Oh, and that is a brutal,
Stefan, you
brutal
require
bounce out.
64.
It denies Gilding a finish on his return because Siepmann knows he's got another visit if he needs it. Double 16.
48.
Another match dart missed. He is going to get more. And at least for Siepmann now, he knows he's not on the 10s and the 5s. This breaks down. So if he does start missing inside, he's not going to lose any darts at double. It'll be double 8, double 4, double 2, double 1. Yeah, well, it's only 45. Gilding chipping away at this. It's like chipping away at a mountain with a toothpick here, Andrew Gilding. Can Siepmann put him out of his misery? Yes, he can! Stefan Siepmann, the third German through on day 1 of the German Darts Masters. That was baffling. Andrew Gilding beaten 6-4 in, quite frankly, one of the poorest displays we have ever seen from any player inside the world's top 64 on the European Tour. Siepmann, a deserved winner, and he will play Joe Cullen tomorrow. We'll grab a few words with him. The German crowd seem happy with it at least. We will see. Ronnie Baxter, the Rocket, take to the stage at the moment against Kyle Anderson. But let's go a few words with your winner, Elmar Polka.
Wird nicht ganz so zufrieden sein. Steffen, gratuliere. Das war nicht leicht am Ende mit dem Doppel, oder?
Ja, das ist wirklich wohl wahr. Auf der Bühne ist immer was anderes als wie hinter den Kulissen.
Was für eine Stimmung. Hast du es mitbekommen? Hast du es ein bisschen genießen können?
Auf jeden Fall. Also das war richtig Bombe. Und ich freue mich schon aufs nächste Spiel.
Steffen Siepmann, er spielt morgen dann gegen Joe Cullen sein Zweitrunden-Match. Und er soll es jetzt erstmal genießen und er wird morgen besser spielen müssen. Also.